Today, the team behind Call of Duty published a blog post celebrating the fact that the NPD group has named a Call of Duty game as the #1 best-selling console game of the year. A decade straight. The streak starts with 2009, as Call of Duty Modern Warfare ends on last year's Call of Duty Black Ops 5. While the NPD group's market data is notoriously incomplete, the numbers are pretty reliable when you are looking at console games, especially console games that, like Call of Duty, still sell a lot of physical copies. It's no surprise that a Call of Duty game would sell well, though series sales have slipped in the past. But it is interesting to see the company cross the finish line on this decade-long streak with Black Ops 5, which is significantly unlike any other game in the series. It famously has no single-player campaign, for one thing, and it's the first Call of Duty game to be sold on Battle.net instead of Steam. Plus it has a no Battle Royale mode, Blackout, and late last year a special discounted Battle Edition of the game was put on sale last year that cut out the game's co-op zombies multiplayer mode in favor of just offering classic multiplayer and Blackout. Sebastian Sdpie, the creative director of CD Projekt Red's upcoming game Cyberpunk 2077, is seemingly making the jump from the Polish studio to Blizzard Entertainment, as spotted by the RedSetter user. Sdpie's LinkedIn account shows him as having started at Blizzard in January as a creative director on an unnamed project, though that same profile has not been updated to show when he left CD Projekt Red. Sdpie spent over 12 years at CD Projekt Red, working as a dialogue writer, lead story designer, creative director, and narrative film setting director throughout this time with the company. During that time, Sdpie had his hands in the creation of all 3 games in the Witcher series, including several enhanced edition releases, and, most recently, Cyberpunk 2077. Sony Santa Monica's Cory Barlog, speaking to VentureBet about the development of God of War. Rebooting a franchise is a risky endeavor, and comes with many unknowns. But having helped with the Tomb Raider reboot, while taking creative leave from Sony Santa Monica, God of War lead Cory Barlog got some experience under his belt. In a recent interview with VentureBeat, Barlog discusses his thought process behind pitching the reboot the way he did, as well as the many experiences which all helped him learn to focus his storytelling. After finishing his work on the original God of War trilogy, Barlog describes feeling burned out and wanting to pursue something new. I wanted, creatively, to get a different experience. I am not certain how well I know this or not, but I felt like I did not know a lot that I needed to learn, and I was not going to learn it if I was making the same game over and over again. He explains. Thus, Barlog did a few stints at various places before landing at Crystal Dynamics and helping with that Tomb Raider reboot on its cinematics. It was monumental to shifting his thought processes. That gave me the perspective I needed. I do not think I would have been able to make this game had I not had that walkabout. That was really good for me, because it gave me a good understanding of, when they were rebooting, what was their process. I ended up using that. This is not to say they were wrong. It's just that the way they approached it, I looked at it and thought, I'd approach this very differently. He continues. So when it came time to head back to Sony Santa Monica, had some ideas. I think I said, God of War needs a fresh start. But the player needs a fresh start as well. But we do not want to just erase the past. That was an important thing. As a writer, you'll understand how hard it is to build up backstory for our characters, so you can have impactful moments. You have to build toward something and then pay it off. We built for 10 years. Let's not throw that out. Let's keep that. But let's take chapter 2. Let's use that and have that resonate even stronger. Be sure to check out the entire interview over at VentureBeat, which goes into more detail about the development cycle of God of War. A new year stretches before us, ripe with possibilities. And organizers of the 2019 Game Developers Conference want to take the opportunity to let you know about a promising session from Double Coconuts David Fox that's all about finding success in the hyper-casual game market. In his BD 2019 Mobile Summit talk, the Flappy Bird that laid the golden egg, success in hyper-casual, Fox will show you how, much like the pop music industry, success in hyper-casual involves an extremely polished nugget of gameplay wrapped in carefully calibrated image, and shared with a worldwide well-established but very hard-to-enter distribution model. Fox, who previously held roles at Telltale Games and Digital Chocolate, aims to pull back the curtain and look at how this all really works, and where quality really matters. Hyper-casual games are a fun way to prototype and profit off new mechanics, but they are not for the faint of heart, and certainly are not guaranteed to succeed. However, with the right planning and math, Fox will show you how they are a genuine path to noble success. For more details on this talk, and many more, check out THEGTC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your DD week, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to DD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more here. For more details on NGDC 2019 visit the show's official website. Or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or RSS. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa, in advance of the recent Game Awards. BOWERBAROUGHT in a few journalists for a quick presentation discussing the story of its upcoming cooperative RPG ANTHEM. As BioWare readies to launch a major new universe, we had questions about the future of BioWare as a studio. At the meeting, game director John Warner and lead producer Michael Gamble made a pitch for what the game's multiplayer story experience would be like, explaining how players would be given private opportunities to advance the narrative while still going on missions with their friends. We were able to sit down with John Warner to discuss the evolution and development of FAFM, and learn more about how the company is shifting into a new world of RPG design. Edited for clarity. So as a group, we wanted to go after some new challenges. We know that we wanted to start telling stories in a more social way, and that was going beyond our previous efforts at multiplayer like Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age Inquisition. Right off the bat, we knew we wanted to create something that was going to be a little bit different from the start. We knew we wanted it to be a co-op experience. We wanted people to play together and be able to enjoy a BioWare setting for an extended period of time. These were the goals, the big tent poles that drove our development. Honestly, the first thing that really jumped out at me from our prototype was flight. We played around with it, had lots of different aspects to it, but having that feeling of being able to get to a point in the world and jump off a cliff and fly was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then you kind of look around side to side. This is something no one else is doing either. It was magical right off the bat. our engineers, our animators, they were just eating it up. They dug it. They really dove into that challenge. And, yet, we can totally do this. A lot of it is respect. Respect for the craft. We are all game players. We are storytellers and we tell stories in different ways. It starts from that position of respect. I want to listen to what you have to say as a developer and whether you are a 3D modeler making terrain, or you are a writer bringing these amazing characters to life.